Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. And thank you very much, Mr. Lette, for being here with us today. And also to congratulate you for this task, which we absolutely in this committee, I think we all agree that it's very important and crucial at this point of time. And I agree here also with what Danuta said, and also Jonas with my colleagues, that probably in your report, the most challenging part will be on the capital markets union, because this is the pillar, let's say, of the single market that it's least, or not to say not developed at all. So when we talk about a single market, and I'm always a bit puzzled how we talk about capital markets union at all, because there is none. So I'm sure this is going to be very difficult in your report. And in this sense, I also was very happy that President von der Leyen, in her speech on the State of the Union, actually the most focal point in her speech was about competitiveness. And it is obvious that we do have a big investment gap in the European Union in terms of all the transformations that we are supposed to undergo, or our industries in terms of digitalization and the Green Deal. But also it is accentuated, this investment gap, because of the competition by other jurisdictions. We see how China and the US basically now, their governments kind of work as companies. So they say, well, we want to invest here, and then do it in certain sectors. And we do have a big problem with this. We do have only a national response in terms of investment gap in the European Union. I know that the Commission is telling us about all the different measures that are taken at EU level, but actually the only measure that has been taken at EU level is basically flexibilizing state aid rules. And in this sense, we know how difficult it is for those member states as mine, Spain, in that sense, without the necessary fiscal space to go into that race with a state aid. And as we don't have really an instrument at EU level, and we also don't want to have industries that are hooked up basically on subsidies, we have to look also into private investment. And how to attract this private investment. And I think also that private investment is the one that actually has been very effective in terms of going into high-risk projects, non-bankable projects, but also to promote more innovation. And if we look at the US as just to compare ourselves, basically 30% of the companies there get their financing from the capital markets, and the market capitalization there is around at $40 trillion. And here in the European Union, only 10% of our companies, more or less, look for finance at the capital markets, and with capital marketization of some 70 trillion. And the fragmentation of our capital markets is enormous. So we know we have 35 different stock markets operated by some 20 groups. I had somewhere, there is a very nice, I don't know if you see it from here, but this is how it looks. So the different groups that we have here in terms of stock exchanges and groups that operate them. And we are working now in the European Parliament on our position on the Listing Act, which is, of course, an important initiative by the Commission, of course, in terms of how to promote the listing of companies, in particular startups and family companies. But this is not enough, obviously. So my question may be also to you, and I know it's not an easy one, but how do we really, as policymakers, establish the one incentive for stock markets to consolidate in the European Union? Because we can look for, of course, for solutions for companies to go more on the capital markets and to list and to try to obtain finance. But if we don't have this consolidation, we still have just this fragmentation that doesn't really allow also investors and companies that need financing to really opt for this kind of financing. Thank you very much.